Hello everyone, Barak here with my birthday special, and just like the last birthday specials, this was a game that I played in my childhood probably every other day. Wasn't every day like the other ones, but I played this a lot. I've skipped over a lot of the intro, so don't just think the game just starts right here and you're done. So, if you want to play the game, by all means do it. It's a decent storyline. It's a comic book storyline. Don't expect anything better. But this is a brawler game. Beat 'em up, brawler, whatever you want to call it. It's a side-scroller. You punch people in the face, or kick people. You keep going. Anyway, yeah. Today, I'm not going to beat the entire game, but I'm going to basically go through each of the heroes, or beat each of the characters, and kind of overlay what each character's strengths and weaknesses are. I might be wrong on some of them. I never claimed to be a great player in this. In fact, I think I've only beaten this game like 10 times in my life, which, as many times as I played this, is a pitiful amount. So if that tells you anything, parts of the game can be rather annoying. But, like I said, this game, if you like the comics, it's great. They do the characters decent justice. It's not the best representations of the characters, but it's better than, most video game incarnations. Like Gambit. Gambit's here, one of my favorite X-men in the entire series. I don't know why they did away with him for a while. I don't know if he's back or not. I don't watch Saturday morning cartoons anymore, but yeah, there's Gambit, there's Logan, Wolverine, there's Psylocke, there is Cyclops and Beast, I think, are the characters in this. Did I forget one? I don't think I forgot one. But yeah, this game is kind of punishing. You get one screw-up per character. You have 2 lives. That's not 2 continues, that's 2 lives. You die twice, you're done. Game over. And you get 2 attempts. So I'm going to go with my favorite mutant here, and that is, of course, Logan. Ever since I was a kid, I've loved Wolverine's character. Brute force. He's not afraid to tell you what he thinks of you. That, and I just always like the healing superpower. Not superpower, it's the healing mutation. But yeah, as you see, there's only really 2 attacks in this game. I mean, there's like I guess that's not true. There are different attacks. I was gonna say there's the regular, and then there's the Hadouken. However you do an Hadouken, that's how you do your other attacks. In Logan's case, that's the charge you see occasionally that I'll pull off here. I don't remember what those X's are for. I don't think they're lives. They might be. I don't know what they are, but I usually don't end up picking them up. For the record, I recorded this without the camera on, not probably 10 minutes ago. Did not get hit a single time in this stage. It's the Let's Player's curse, man. It exists. Seriously, I never get hit on this stage. This is like the easiest stage in the entire game. At least I think it is. Maybe that's just because I really like Wolverine's playstyle. I don't know, it's very straightforward. I forgot that guy was up there. Well, like I said, parts of the game can be annoying, but they're not really dangerous. There's a big difference. Like, this guy is just annoying for the sake of being annoying, I think. But yeah, this stage is child's play compared to the rest of the game, as opposed to like Psylocke's stage. Psylocke's stage is bad for me because it's a lot of platforming that you'll see later. And this game does employ mini-bosses and bosses. Unfortunately, the mini-boss models are kind of, well, they're very limited. I think this is like the only mini-boss. Oh no, I think I might be wrong, but a lot of the mini-bosses are that thing right there. Unfortunately, this thing seems to be in a loop where it's only firing missiles. I seem to remember it trying to tackle me once or twice before, but apparently it does not want to do so. This is without a doubt the easiest fight in the entire game. If you die to this thing, you're not going to make it very far in the game. I'm not trying to be rude, but if a person can't beat this thing, you haven't played very many old-school Nintendo or Super Nintendo beat-em-ups, because this is like the easiest one. But on the other, like I said before, it is the least forgiving, because you only get 2 attempts. Unless you get an extra life or something. Whoops, wrong way. I remember you have to go up, I just didn't remember where, like which way you go up. And yes, I believe to the right, for those morbid enough to notice, I believe that is a spinal column. And I think if you actually, climb up it, it actually starts falling apart. Because the screen's shaking. I don't know if that's an ambient thing, or if that's because of what I did there, but yeah. Old Man Barak turned 27. Today, as a matter of fact. 23rd. But I don't have any plans on quitting Let's Playing. I say it's not just a young man's game. But anyway, the first boss. Well, not really first. You get to choose wherever you want to go. But this thing's actually really easy. I have a feeling I'm going to screw this up. Again, last time I didn't get hit once. Oh, you jerk. They usually don't turn their head twice. The gist of it is, don't get caught up by the ads, and just stay away from the lasers, which I'm kind of getting caught right in the ads, which is not what you want to do, damn it. But you can use the boss to your advantage, just let them literally walk into the laser, and then bait the attack in the other direction, not like that. But that's how you gotta improvise if you do make a mistake. You gotta just dash away. I mean, it's not a bad strategy either. Actually, I think this is like the only strategy I ever came up with when I was a kid to not get hit in this fight. Except I screwed up right there. But, you know, beyond that. It's just pure video gaming skills from back in the day right here. Of course, I'm not showing very much skill, I'm more so just showing... Actually, what's the opposite of skill? Because I'm pretty sure that's what I'm showing right now. Incompetence, that's the one. It doesn't help that Logan's jumping attack is not the best in the game. But it's good enough for what it needs to do. Alright, now... Like I said, I doubt I'm going to be able to beat the game. But next we're going to go to my second favorite mutant in the game. And of course that would be Gambit. I love Gambit. I mean, who came up with the ability to throw a flaming card? Well, not flaming, but... I mean, come on, that's a pretty great ability. It's unique. Actually, I don't even remember if that was his power in the comics or not. I don't think it was. It's been too long since I read the comics. I'd rather not get into a debate about that because I know I'm probably wrong. But Gambit has the unique ability to, again, throw the cards. And it's actually very handy for the stage at parts. Not here, because you don't have a chance to stand on even ground, but... The other thing you gotta take advantage of is poking a person in the ankles with a stick. And they will fall over. You will want to take advantage of this. Because Gambit has great range, but he's not really that great up close and personal. I mean, yeah, you can do that, but... Beyond that, you'll see later in the stage, because you get mobbed later with like 3 or 4 things on screen, and you have to take advantage of your disable, or in this case, your card. That was me attempting to use the card, actually rather unsuccessfully for the 4th time straight. Screw it, I'm just gonna hit it. Yeah, the card really comes in handy here, if you don't time this jump strikes correctly, because you can fall, die, and la-di-da, who would have thought you could die, but you can actually get up to there. I just don't remember how you do it. That X up there, that collectible or whatever you want to call it. This is where you start getting mobbed. The first one's not that bad. Only 3 guys. Barak, how do you know that? Well, I remember from a kid, the first stop was always the easiest. The second stop was one of those, like, the next worst. The worst one, I think, was the 3rd stop, because I think they start throwing people with knives at you. And inside that barrel, I think, is health. I think it's also explosive. How explosive is health, I don't know. Don't ask me, but it is. Of course, you also have to take advantage of some of the fact that the gun mobs don't always aim down. Some of them are smart and will actually... I just wasted that health thing. Some of them are actually, smart enough to duck down and shoot. So you still get hit even when you duck. But the ones in this stage don't appear to be that smart. But yeah, like I said, you gotta take advantage of your knockdowns, because you need all the space you can get in this game. Of course, when they're off screen, it's kind of hard to tell when they're dead, so you kind of have to go with the go message. Because you don't want to be facing that guy and the knife man at the same time. They both hurt extraordinary amounts. One because they have a pointed, jagged knife, and the other one because he's freaking a bodybuilder. Look at that guy. I mean, Gambit's pretty well fit, but he's not that ripped. Oh yes, this boss fight, I'm not even sure why it's a boss fight. This boss fight wasn't even difficult. Because it wasn't even really a boss fight. It was Don't Be Stupid, the boss fight edition. If you cannot be stupid, you'll win this boss fight hands down. If you make stupid mistakes, well, with any boss fight, when you make stupid mistakes, you're not going to live very long. The hardest part is knowing you can actually throw your cards upwards, because they didn't really give you any hints as to that, did they? My first time playing the game, I remember, because I was explicitly going, how the heck am I supposed to hit those things? And then I found out just by raging, and as a kid I raged a lot during games, I realized you can throw your cards upwards. Which is difficult because if I'm getting this correctly, I think you have to double tap up to actually double tap up and then, that's Y? Yeah, I think that's the Y button on my Super Nintendo. And that's pretty much the boss fight. Just don't be stupid with, like that. Just duck down and hit their toes. That guy cannot aim downwards as far as I know. And then just beat him up. Fight over. That's it. Everybody go home. That's the only two stages that I'm confident I could win. Beyond that, it's just gonna be me trying to show off the characters. I think my favorite, like, fighter in this was Beast, just because he could do some fancy stuff if you got good with him. Him and Psylocke, but their stages are difficult. But that's why you can do the fancy stuff, because you have to do it if you want to survive. I'm just getting used to his maneuvers. I don't want to go in blind here, knowing what do my moves do again? Of course, the bad thing about the beginning here is your tackle kind of pushes you backwards into the other person, so what I really should be doing is just ducking and hitting them like I eventually learned there. Why am I doing a strategy guide for a game that's over a decade old? I don't know. Oh, and he can walk on the ceiling, if you hadn't guessed that already, which I'm guessing you probably have, because you're not blind. If you are blind, I don't know how you got on YouTube, but I'm glad you did. Because Beast, while he looks like a very, melee-centric guy, he's really not that great in, like, fisticuffs, because he gets himself hurt more often than not. It's more of a hit-and-run playstyle. Because if you just do your auto-attack combo, like I said, you tackle them, go back, and if there's somebody behind you, well, that sucks. You're gonna get hit. But in theory, Beast looks like he should be, well, a beast. And there's landmines, I forgot. Well, water mines? Well, that was just stupid of me there. This is one of those boss fights where you either look like a pro or you look like a jackass. There's no middle ground. You either look like you know what you're doing or you don't look like you know what you're doing, because you don't know what you're doing. Like that, I just look like a jackass there. But if I actually did the intelligent thing, I would have looked like I knew what I was doing. I think that goes for any video game, though. I don't think that really works all that well. Yeah, there you go. Now I look like I know what I'm doing, instead of just getting hit by the flippin' mines. Of course, when I was a kid, I just went, screw it, I accept your challenge. I'm going to sit down there in the water. And I did it too. Granted, I think it took me like, I don't know, 5 or 6 attempts to do that, but I did it. I can make that. I know I can make that. Haha. What did that do? I don't know what it did. Oh well. Oh yeah, I remember this. This is the area where there's actually a bit of a opening. You can actually go up or down. I think going down... I guess I'm going down. I was gonna say, I think going down is more difficult, but I think there's more health down here. If my memory is serving me correctly, yeah. I don't know what the... I guess there was a point to that. The health, that was the point. I was gonna say, I don't know what the point of that water is, but I guess if you jump with the water still there, you might not be able to, like, jump. I don't know. I didn't really try, did I? Now this boss fight, oh god, I hate this boss fight because I suck at it. And I'm not just saying that, I really suck at this boss fight. Don't expect any kind of strategy with this fight. I don't know what strategy is. As you might well tell. I think with the strategy, I've beaten this boss before, I just don't remember how you do it. Like when I was a kid, I had this boss on lockdown, but not anymore. Because there's nothing to hook onto. He can't hook onto anything. Ah, that was terrible. I'm not gonna make excuses, that was horrific on my end. But I'm not going to go on Beast again, because if I go on Beast and die again, that's game over, we're done. So I'm going to show Cyclops, I think, and then Psylocke, and then we'll call it a day. Cyclops, it actually takes a little more skill to use his, blast, whatever you want to call that, optic blast. Because it's a wind-up time. There's a wind-up time for it, and I think it's also like Hadoken, because I used to know how to do this effortlessly, but when you haven't played a game in close to a decade, you kind of forget the intricacies of it. Which is not good for me, because I remember a mini-boss. I don't know if that was a mini-boss or if that was just like an encounter. But yeah, that's the cooldown in action. But yeah, I remember there's a mini-boss-esque encounter where you have to use your optic beam a lot. And that might prove to be the death of me. Well, maybe not. Hopefully not. Alright, you're supposed to actually, do that. My bad. Yeah, they actually make you... I think the point of those little areas is to try and make you feel like you actually are an X-Men, but, I mean, I think this really just came off as tedious. In hindsight. Yeah, that. I think I probably could have gotten that one, but I didn't really want to risk it. Oh, yes. You remember these times. Yeah, I could have easily actually went down to the bottom and then did the crouching beam, but I didn't even think about it. It's hard doing this while commentating at the same time, I gotta tell you it is. Because this takes some pretty decent concentration to not get ran over. But I can do it. I'm actually surprised at how not bad I'm doing. That's not a good description, but yeah, I'm actually surprised. Whoops. As soon as I saw him winding up, I was like, yeah, I meant to do the crouching one. Okay. Now we're blind, because I don't remember anything past that. Which means I'm probably going to die any time now, because if I remembered stuff, I would actually, get past it. Because I remember it. That was awful. But it worked. More than it should have. Don't poke me in the eye with a knife. You'll poke somebody's eyes out. Does Cyclops have eyes? Crap, I can't remember if Cyclops has eyes or not. I think he does. They just... Oh, yeah, never mind. I really don't want to get into that. Oh god, this. I don't remember what you do here. That's pretty much obvious. Okay, one of two things I was supposed to do there. Either I was supposed to keep walking, or I was supposed to kill that thing. I'm not sure, but this is probably the most entertaining character to watch. And play, for that matter. Well, more so play. I mean, I don't recommend you just sit here and watch Psylocke for her aesthetics, but... She does have a very interesting playstyle. She is very mobile, compared to the other X-Men. Her jump is, if I remember right, phenomenal. I'll get to that in a minute. But the only bad thing about her is she doesn't have a whole lot of range. So you gotta rely on your mobility. Yeah, you can jump really high, as you can see. And you can jump even higher if you actually hit somebody while you're jumping. Of course, the bad thing to this is you go backwards. So you have to actually aim like this. Yes! Haha. Of course, I do love that punch. I don't know what you call that. Red punch there, crimson punch. We're gonna call it crimson punch just because it's crimson and it's punching somebody, so yeah. Like I said, that's about as much mechanics as you're gonna get, like mechanical play you're gonna get in this game. Now the reason I said Psylocke's stage is so difficult, it's not because it's really all that bad enemy-wise, it's more so one particular area coming up. And when I was a kid, I always dreaded this area. I loved the fighting, because I loved the character Psylocke, but... I mean... If anybody's ever played Aladdin for Super Nintendo, you remember the scene in the Cave of Wonders, I think it was called, with the magic carpet? Yeah, it's kind of like that, except... you're not riding a magic carpet and you're fighting guys with guns. So I guess it's really nothing like that. I just kind of sounded like a moron. Never mind. But yeah, if you can overcome Psylocke's range, she's a great character. And probably, actually, I'd say the best character if you can get over her lack of range. Personally, I like Wolverine just because he's straightforward, but... well, you probably don't care about that. On that note, in the comments, why don't you tell me your favorite X-Men? Or X-Woman? Whoever it is. Mine's definitely Logan, followed by Gambit. Probably followed by Storm next. Anyway, that's just my top 3. Oh, that was terrible. You can tell I was distracted too, talking about my favorite mutants, my bad. But this mini-boss is easy. It's not as easy as Wolverine's, but it's I'm making this look a lot more difficult than it really is, if you couldn't tell. But once you get into the groove of the fight, it's really not that bad. Just don't... It's like kind of like Demon Souls and Dark Souls. Just don't get greedy. Hit once, leave. Hit once, leave. It might take a little longer, but you won't get hit. Or if you want to be greedy like me, then go ahead and do it, but it's really not the best strategy here. Unless you get lucky and they just go, alright, I'm done, and leave like that. Which normally he does not do that. I don't know why I jumped there. I think that was just instinct. And that's why you only attack the once. If I'd attacked twice there, he would have punched me right in the face with that... Oh crap, what's that thing called? Morning Star? Looks like a Morning Star chained to his hand. I don't know what it is though, I don't think that's technically a Morning Star, but I'm getting off of topic now. I think it was after this boss fight, yep, here. And you gotta keep moving. You don't keep moving, well... Oh, yep, that's probably gonna be the death of me. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. That's going to be it for today, guys. I'm not going to complete the game, but I just wanted to show you a game from my childhood. It's X-Men Apocalypse. Thank you guys very much for watching. As always, if you'd like to help support the channel and help it grow, you may wish to like or even subscribe for easier access to future videos. Hopefully I shall see you next time. Farewell, everyone. Until next time.